So right now, I'm in prep for my first ever bodybuilding show, and I'm going to be real with you for a minute. It's a shitload. It's a lot. All my meals are completely planned. You know, I've got daily cardio. I don't really have any food choices. My food flexibility is completely gone, but that's only because of what I'm trying to accomplish, right? So I want to be really clear on that before we go anywhere else. You don't need anything that looks like that at all. Um, excuse me. To get down to stage lean, you know, you've got to be extremely precise. You know, all of your variables are controlled. There's no margin for error. And you probably don't want to step on stage. You kind of just want to be able to take your shirt off at the beach or the pool and not think twice about it. And what I see constantly is, you know, guys who just want to lose weight, they try and go that hard at it, and they're really chasing a goal that has nothing to do with what their goals are at all. So here's what it looks like when you try and, you know, copy that plan. 6 meals a day, all portioned exactly, and then you're gonna have a full panic the moment a dinner, you know, out gets planned or put on your calendar. And then, you know, you have cardio stacked on top of every training session because you think, well, that's what serious people do. And then it's the second thing to get thrown off. And then you feel like a complete failure because you couldn't keep up with it. And like, stop trying to role play your fat loss. Not a single person cares how serious you look for the first 3 weeks before you fall off again. And at this point, it's pretty predictable. I've seen it play out way more times than I can count. So my prep works because my entire life is literally built around making it work. And I think people see what I'm doing sometimes and assume like they can sort of copy the behavior. But it's really not. It's not just like a strategy. It's committed to everything. You know, my sleep, my schedule, my social life, my stress, like all of that has to line up to have one outcome: be on stage and do well. You don't want that. You don't need it. You want to drop 20 pounds while still living your life. You still want to be able to have dinners out and deal with schedule changes and the freedom to, you know, not have every single thing controlled. You know, copying someone trying to go on stage in that kind of environment, it just doesn't work. It's literally the wrong tool for the job, like completely wrong. Because, you know, your friction's going to build up fast. Your food decisions are going to become literally impossible. And then one interruption is going to send you down a spiral. And again, you're just trying to use a plan that's not built for your goal. And it just breaks. Eventually, it's going to break. Okay, so here's what you can take away from what I'm doing. But it's not really the what, it's more so the why. Everything in my current setup exists because it has a very specific job, a very specific outcome, and a very hard deadline. The goal needs to determine your approach. That's it. That's the whole thing. Your approach needs to match your goal, not my goal, not someone else's goal that you saw on Instagram, not Jim's goal from accounting. It needs to be your goal. So for me, an example right now, that means everything is 110% locked in, tight. I don't get variations. Like everything is what it is. Now for you, that means something way different. Not necessarily like a lesser version, because you still have to be locked in, but it's like the right version for what you're going to be trying to accomplish, right? It's the right goal for what you want to do. So what does your version look like? I like to use 5 things. You've probably heard some of these before. Number 1, repeatable meals. And I do not mean like what I'm eating, the same 4 or 5 ingredients 6 days a week. You know, foods that you can actually consume and enjoy, that doesn't look like a plate of mush. You know, stuff that helps making decisions that are a lot easier without making your life completely miserable. Number 2 is just a realistic calorie deficit, not a crash. My calories dropped 700 calories a day. I was eating kind of a lot once I really started this prep. So that's a lot. But again, I have a very specific goal. You just need to eat a little bit less to, widen the gap between your energy expenditure and your body weight. And eventually you'll lose fat week to week over time. Number 3 is a protein target that is mandatory. This is the first thing that I was going to admit. This is the first macro that I track within my plan when I put it together. It's the first one. Protein goes first, backfill behind it. If you have low protein, you're going to be hungrier, and your body's not going to be building muscle. It's going to be kind of eating away at it because that's what it's using for energy. Number 4, your training has to fit you. Not necessarily the most impressive, but the one that, gets it done on 4 days a week and progresses itself week after week. And, you don't feel like you're completely smoked after every session and you're not dreading the next day, because if you need a rest day, guess what? You have the flexibility to do so. And number 5, this is a big one. And this is what I like to call leaving room for Tuesday. Like, this is like flexibility. Like if you have a dinner out or you have a really low energy day, like I just said, or your schedule just changes, something runs long, you have a structure behind it that's not suffocating you. All right. Side by side. You guys know I love the side by sides. Bodybuilder imitation, super aggressive calorie cut, crazy rigid nutrition, daily cardio, and makes it feel like some type of punishment. Training volume. You think you can go 6 days a week, cardio on the 7th. It's just not going to happen. It's going to give you more anxiety than anything else. And then you're going to have one bad day that's going to turn into a bad month. And then you're just going to repeat your burnout cycle yet again. Now we'll have our real life approach. You go into a moderate calorie deficit, built still around your protein target. You have flexible food structure for, eating on the go or having a dinner out that you can't miss. And your training volume is high enough to be sustainable. And like I said earlier, each session has to build into the next session throughout the entire program. So sure, one of them looks pretty flawless and cool on paper, but it's not. It's built for flawless execution. It's not built for real life. And the other one, it works in real life. If the goal is to look good and feel better over months and even years, you don't need a system for someone who's 8 weeks out of a bodybuilding show. That's ridiculous. Bodybuilders don't do this long term. They do the prep and then they go back to their normal lives. So sometimes, obviously, you will have to operate with a little less freedom and a little more rigidity, kind of like what I'm living right now. If you have like a really hard deadline or a really specific physique goal, or maybe you do want to step on stage and you are going into a prep, that's when you have to dial up the precision, and that's when it earns its place. That's when locking everything in actually makes real sense. But for the guys who you're just trying to lose your love handles and take your shirt off at the beach, you literally don't need really any of that. Like, don't fall into this trap of thinking you need to be perfect to make progress. You really just need the right approach and like your actual goal. So if you've learned anything from this, let it be this. Doesn't make sense. Bodybuilding prep works for bodybuilders because the target is narrow and there's really no room for error. That same approach does not work for you in regular fat loss because it's going to add way more stress on your life and make it a hell of a lot harder to just get to the gym in the first place. And if it's harder, and it's not going to be easier to reach your goals. So you need to match the approach to the goal, not someone else's goal. Like they said, your goal. Your goal is the most important thing. So be sure to subscribe and follow along on Instagram at jpratt.fitness_. And in the next video, we're going to get into exactly how to structure your nutrition to make real progress without dieting feeling like, I don't know, like a second job or something.